podcast, Can You Take My Shift? Your favorite coworkers are off the clock and back for another episode. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today we are filming this episode on Labor Day. And guess who has to work Labor Day? Actual laborers. Tell me how that makes sense.
It makes zero sense.
Well, there is our episode complaint. I don't know.
I think this is actually, though, the first Labor Day that I haven't had to work.
Oh, me too. Yeah, because I work now. Like, we work office jobs. So, we don't need to go into work.
We don't need to go into work. What are you talking about?
But anyways, welcome back. Amy, how was your week? How was your long weekend going so far?
So far, so good. Hung out with friends. Got a little drunk. Typical weekend shenanigans.
Yes, we don't know if lockdowns are happening soon, so we're trying to make the best of it before shit hits the fan again. But we were playing the game Taboo. And so Amy and I are on the same team. We have a shared brain cell. We still didn't win.
We didn't. But there was a couple words that I would just say, and I don't even understand how you got it from the clues I gave.
Yeah.
It was
crazy.
scary.
You'd be like, oh, this tank top we have has this. And I was like, lace.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? And then I was really bad. So my boyfriend is on the other team, but he's sitting beside me, and I'm holding the buzzer. And I kept when they get a question right, I would one of the things right, I would buzz, and they're like, Kelsey, stop. And I was like, sorry, I'm very trigger happy.
Trying to throw him off his game.
Exactly.
Out of rhythm.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
See, there's the brain cell.
Yeah. But there is some things up and coming pretty soon. And I'd like to say that everyone should vote for me for class president, sorority president, president, prime minister, American Idol,
world leader at this point.
Just vote for me for everything, right?
Just write Kelsey's name in wherever you can.
I say that though, but anytime I've actually been in something where people have to vote for me, that has never gone my way.
No,
I don't have success with voting, and I don't know, maybe it's not, I'm not charismatic. Oh God, I can't even say. But so. My very kind of first disappointment with voting was when I was in 8th grade. Now, I had been acting since I was 5 years old. I'd always been the best actor, the big fish in the small pond.
Yes.
So when we got to grade 8, we had to do Romeo and Juliet. And we had to do every class had to do a play of it, a very, very condensed play.
Yeah.
And I, of course, want to be Juliet because I had the most lines. I was the only real actor in the class, but the class had to vote upon it, so you had to audition and then vote upon. So I and this other girl went up for the part of Juliet, but she was actually my friend, and I don't fault her for this.
Yeah.
But she was quite a bit prettier than me. And she was stumbling over the lines and stuttering, and then I deliver what I say is a beautiful performance, because of course it was.
Of course.
And of course the class votes for her because she's prettier and more popular. So it was then they would have had to audition all the parts until only one person wanted them, and my teacher was because the teacher knows I did the better performance, but she's just sitting there going, Kelsey, what part do you want?
Aww.
I didn't have to audition for the next part because she thought, she was like, oh no, I don't want this to keep happening to you.
Yeah, you're just we'll throw you a bone.
Yeah, Kelsey, you can just take, so I was like, fine, what has the next amount of lines? And it was the nurse, and I was like, whatever.
Nurse is still it's a titular role, Kelsey.
It is a titular role, and I was a damn good nurse, I will give that. And then another time where I was disappointed was in elementary school. We did mock elections.
Oh, did you?
Yes, but we had to, so they were assigned, and I was part of the independent party. And one of the kids in I remember this weirdly so vivid, that we had to poll so we were divided into parties, and we were independents. And then we had to pull out of a bowl what our main platform was.
Yeah.
And ours was Save the Whales.
Oh, that's a very niche platform to be voting.
Exactly.
on.
That was like, we're running for like the Prime Minister of Canada and save the whales. Taxes? Nope. Save the whales.
Save the whales.
Yeah. Anything else? Nope. Save the whales. And I was like, all right, like I can be our leader. No. Because I was the only girl with all the boys, so they wouldn't let me be the leader.
Oh, of course.
So that didn't work out for me. And then the final, like the only time that I think voting may have worked out for me was, so when I was in high school, our school didn't choose the valedictorian on like who had the best grades. It was voted upon. So you would run.
Oh.
Yeah, so they would choose a male student and a female student for the valedictorians, and you'd have to run for it, and people voted. Now, we had, I think, like 7 guys running for valedictorian, but only 2 girls. And one girl, her and I were friends in elementary school, but we were not friends in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a problem with her. We just kind of drifted apart. And she was like pretty nice. Like, I don't know, she was like part of the popular crowd, but wasn't like a bully or anything. Then the other girl, nobody liked, because she thought she was like the hottest thing on earth.
Oh,
and she thought she was the coolest girl in school.
Was she a pick-me girl?
Yeah, she was very much a pick-me girl. It's so terrible. Like, she dated, so my very first boyfriend, I'm air quoting here, it was when I was 12. We held hands and went ice skating.
Fun.
And then he broke up with me because I wouldn't kiss him because we both had braces, and I like was so scared of our kissing.
Oh, yeah, that was a big irrational fear of mine too.
Yeah, braces getting caught. So she was dating him, and then right before, like, right while that was happening, like, she was running for valedictorian, he broke up with her and just said, I don't love you anymore, and that's all. And, like,
oh my God.
Everybody knew about it, and I was like, so she was, like, a mess during, like, the speeches and stuff. So the other girl ended up winning, and one time, like, so I was not popular in high school. We know this.
Yes.
Like, that's why I'm funny. Yeah. And I casually said, like, oh, yeah. I was like, I wonder what happened if I ran. And everyone was like, I would have voted for you. And then I was told, yeah, because you would have gotten the nerd vote, the art vote.
You would have gotten all the niche groups.
You would have gotten, like, the literally anybody but those 2 vote.
Fair.
Yeah. So, like, maybe, I mean, in hindsight, maybe. But, like, I didn't want to be valedictorian. I did not like my high school experience.
You would just go to everyone like, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you.
Yeah, but speaking of voting, we have a federal election coming up this month.
Yes, we do.
And now we're going to preface this by, we're going to try and not...
We're not going to get overly political
here. We are going to talk about the election. We're not going to tell you who you should vote for because...
We will tell you it is your civic duty to go and vote.
Yes.
So please do that.
So go do your diligent duty. Go vote, because the one thing I always say, if you don't vote, you don't get to complain.
Exactly.
So do your duty, vote. If you vote and your person you like loses, whatever, you get to complain, but at least you voted.
Exactly.
And... also, we're not going to tell you who to vote for, because anyone who just tells you who to vote for and does not tell you to do your research and look into things is not
a good person.
No, they're not having your interest in person. They are just trying to push their interest on your own. All right, just boring disclaimer over. Now, I actually worked the last federal election.
Yes.
So every time when there's a federal election, so they have, like, Elections Canada has staff, like, year round.
Yes.
And I was at work one day, and someone comes in, and they're like, hi, Kelsey, how are you? And I'm like, good. And they're like, I've got a secret for you. And I was like, what? And they're like, a federal election is coming. And I was like, okay. And she's like, no, I'm serious. Like, they call us all, and they're like, get back to work. And part of me was like, are you supposed to be telling me this? But I don't know.
It's not that big of an...
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. When elections happen in Canada, we're just like, ugh, we got to deal with this shit for like 2 months. Whereas like in the States, it's like 2 years worth of all this big stuff. But like our election's like 6 weeks long, and I'm already sick of commercials.
Oh yeah, so am I. So I'm like, okay, I come home, I tell Amy, oh, apparently according to so-and-so, there's going to be an election. And we're like, all right. And then of course one is called. So they put out the job postings right away. And they have quite a few different job postings that you can do for the election. And they all pay more than minimum wage.
Yes.
Like, when I worked in 2019, minimum wage, I think, was 14 something.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think I got paid $17 an hour. So, because I applied online, went in for a quick interview, and then they, like, hired me, and then they showed me a map, and they're like, these are the polling stations and the ridings that we need people. So they try to keep you in, like, they want you to stay, like, close to your riding as possible, because obviously we're in Vancouver. I'm not gonna go to Deep Cove.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. But you have your polling station, and you can only vote at your polling station, so they don't like you to work at your polling station.
Yeah, because then it's also like, it's like conflict of interest.
Exactly. So I worked at one. The one I was at was in a church. I know, Kelsey, in a church. Yeah.
It didn't burn down?
Yeah, no, it didn't. So I was working at a polling station in a church, and I was a registration officer. So what a registration officer does is when you come in, you need ID and your voter card, and that's the easiest way to vote. You come in with your voter card, you come in with your ID. You go up to the table, they cross your name off the list, and you're on your merry way.
Yeah.
But if you don't have those, you have to go and register. Or if you haven't registered to vote, you have to go and register. So that's what I was doing. So I was 24 years old. It's 6 a.m. in the morning, because that's when I had to be there.
Yep.
And so I was going to be paired with this other girl. And I was like, okay, thinking like, oh, no, it'll be an adult. Now she was 16. Because you can work the election when you're 16.
With parental consent and stuff. Yeah.
And so one thing they said to you, so they do a training, and your training, they pay you $50, like a flat fee for, I think, three hours of training. And they say, you cannot have your phone.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's an election, they just
confidentiality, security.
Right? So your phone must be kept in your backpack at all times. So, of course, our polling station was super busy too. Yeah. And what is this 16-year-old? So it's her and her like best friend are both there. One is the information officer, and that's the person who's directing traffic and telling you where to go. Yeah. All they are is talking the entire time and like Snapchatting and talking about boys. And I'm so annoyed because it's a 10-hour day. And we're trying to get people through, and she's not helpful at all. And then I'm like, put your goddamn phones away.
Yeah, that's really rude.
They're not supposed to be out, but I'm just tired. I'm like cranky. I'm done dealing with these two teenagers. And then one turns to me, so what high school do you go to? And I look at her and I'm like, I'm 24. She's like, oh. And she's like, are you kidding me?
She's just, okay, in her defense, she's probably just, like, trying to make a tiny bit of conversation, and, like, because we know we look young, okay?
Oh, no, I know I look young, and I was, like, had my glasses and a ponytail, I was in a hoodie, because you cannot wear any colors affiliated with any of the parties. Yeah. So, I weirdly have a lot of those colors.
It's because they're primary colors.
But you can't wear black tops, too.
Why?
I can't remember why you couldn't wear a black top, because all my clothes are black. So I think I was wearing like a very pale pink shirt. Yeah. I know, it's weird. I can't remember why. It was weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. And it was like the longest day of my life. After that, I would like never do it again. But so when you go to vote, there's a long list of things you can have that would be secondary identification, because you would need to have your address of where you're voting for. You also have to go to your correct polling station. Yep. Because again, you can't, if you live in Richmond, you can't go vote in Burnaby. No. You can, but you have to fill out a bunch of forms, and there's it's
a lot more paperwork than it's worth.
So people would show up to vote, but they would be so unprepared, and some people would I'd be like, do you have your license? No. Do you have your health card? No. Do you have your passport? No. Do you have an electricity bill? No. Do you have a phone bill? Do you have anything?
Do you have anything that tells me that this is you?
Yeah. One person was like, I have a Costco membership, and I was like, that does not work.
I mean, it does technically have your photo and your full name on it, but It doesn't work.
No, and people would be like, some people would be so rude to you when you're like, this is a legal thing here, sir. Like, because voter fraud is a thing. Mm-hmm. And like, I just couldn't understand the sheer, I don't want to say audacity. Like, I don't think that is the right word here. But it's not that hard to read instructions.
Oh, but if this past pandemic has taught us anything, it's that people cannot follow instructions.
They truly can't. And then one thing that kind of made me mad, so during all the training, they never told us that you couldn't vote where you were working. Because I thought since you were there, all right, you could vote. Because legally, your work has to give you time off to vote.
But I think I think there's exceptions if you're working the thing.
So my dumb brain was like, oh yeah, I'll just vote while I'm here. And they're like, no, you can't. This isn't your riding. You can't vote here. And then I actually looked into it more, and there is a form that you can fill out, but I just think the person who was running my polling station didn't want to fill it out. We were really busy, I get it, but like also he was kind of a dick. But anyways, so I didn't get to vote last election. I voted in the provincial election, so we just had one of those, and I voted in that one. But yeah, I didn't get to vote in the federal election, but I was fine because the person I wanted to win won. So I was like,
so you're good.
Exactly, I don't get to complain. And if she had lost, I didn't get to complain. I should have mailed in my vote, because I told my friend who had done it before, and she's like, yeah, you didn't know you're supposed to mail it in? And I was like, no, nobody told me.
So you gotta look it up yourself. I know, it's very confusing and frustrating.
Yeah, but because you've also worked the election.
I have. I got to work the first election I could have ever voted in, so that was when I, turned 18. They, called one, and I was pumped. I was like, this is so cool. I can finally vote. And I got to work at my polling station, which I thought was strange. Mm-hmm. But, looking back on it, I was like, thank God, because we had to be there at, 4:30, 5 a.m. to set up. And so, thankfully, because of that, it was at the elementary school, 3 blocks away from my house. I just had to walk there. And I don't know, I had a pretty, good experience. It wasn't overly busy until around, 6, 7 o'clock, just because obviously that's when people are off work. And the person I got to sit beside was this old retired 70, 80-year-old man who fixed IMAX cameras for a living.
Oh.
And I was like, that's a job? And he's like, yep. So he just got to go to every single IMAX theater around the world, or wherever they had IMAX cameras, and fix them. And I was like, oh, interesting. I did feel really awkward though, because there were some weird political things going on at the time, and some people did try to pull some shit. And I was like, just fill out your damn form. And you could make this process so much easier for everybody, but no, because you want to make a quote unquote statement, you're gonna make my life difficult. And the people who are making my life difficult? White men. It's always the white man.
It's always the white man, yeah.
So, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was just something different. I did vote, though, but I did the advanced polling because, I don't know, at my training, they said we couldn't vote on election day.
They didn't tell me on mine.
So,
It's fine. No,
my polling officer also brought everybody baked goods.
Oh, that's nice.
That was really nice. So it was just a sweet, wholesome time. I made $500 for a day. I was like, damn.
Yeah, no, it's a nice little paycheck.
It's a nice little paycheck. If you're strapped for cash and can give up a day.
Yeah, I had a free day, in 2019, so I did it. I remember, though, the very first election, so they called an election when I was in my last year of high school, but since my birthday was in July, and I think the election was in June. I didn't get to vote, but a bunch of people in my class did. Oh. And it was so exciting because it was in the election was happening. The polling station was in our school gym.
Oh.
So people were going to the gym. Oh, I'm going to vote. And it was actually really cool, but also it was weird because random adults were coming in and out of our school to vote all day.
That's a little scary.
And you're just like, this is weird. Because we had our gym was right by because we had two gyms. We had an old gym and a new gym, and the new gym was like in the new wing of the school, and like that's where like a bunch of what all the lockers were, and it was like really weird. You're like you're just like at your locker.
Oh yeah, you see all these like mom and dad people walk by, and you're like,
And then the new gym faced, so there we had a dance studio. It was right beside the new gym, and the dance studio had like swinging doors that had glass like windows in them. So like I remember we were in a dance class and we'd look over and there would just like be random people staring at us watching us dance. I'm like, this is highly uncomfortable.
yeah, like this is high school. This isn't like a dance academy. Like you don't get to do this.
Yeah, like go away. So I looked up what they're offering now, and then for my job that I was working, they're offering $17.65. So overall, again, it's not a bad paycheck. And then
it's still like $2 at minimum.
And then if you work an election before, so since I've now worked an election, I can apply for one of the higher paying jobs because you've had to work an election previously, which is up around like $20 an hour.
Yeah.
But will I do it? No.
I thought about it, but I'm too busy. I think it's too late now.
Yeah, I think it's too, because I saw it the other day. I'm too tired. It was not a fun experience.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
And I mean, yeah, like I can give up, I don't work Saturdays anymore, so I could give up a Saturday. But I don't think I'm gonna. But if you want to, elections, if you go online to Elections Canada and needed money, they might still be hiring, because I applied very last minute last year.
Yeah.
That's why like a bunch of polling stations were gone. All the ones close to our house were gone.
Yeah, exactly. So no, if you need a quick gig, Elections Canada will
exactly
do the job.
So, but speaking of job postings, I wanted to see exactly what the job posting of the Prime Minister would look like. So,
is that something you can like just look up?
No.
Okay. I'm like, it's not like it's on like Indeed or something.
It's not on LinkedIn. Yeah, we're looking for the CEO of the second largest country in the world. So right now we have our Prime Minister is currently Justin Trudeau. He's been our Prime Minister since November 4th, 2015. And how the Prime Minister works in Canada for our American listeners is the Prime Minister holds office by the virtue of their ability to command the confidence of the elected House of Commons. They typically sit as a Member of Parliament, MP, and they lead the largest party or a coalition in the House of Commons. What was also interesting, so I was just kind of like, how much does the Prime Minister make? Like, what is the salary?
Where's my tax money going?
Yeah. And the Prime Minister makes a salary of $365,200 a year. Now, the interesting thing about that is that they get two salaries. So half of that is the MP salary, and then half of that is the Prime Minister salary.
Oh, interesting.
Because you can actually become the Prime Minister of Canada without being a Member of Parliament.
Has that happened?
No, it's nearly impossible.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's nearly impossible, but if that were to happen...
it would be cut in half.
Yeah, that salary would be in half.
What the heck? That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Like, you still get the house... oh, God, what's it called?
Rideau Hall?
24 Sussex Drive.
Oh,
yeah.
Rideau Hall something else.
Yeah, I don't know. So you still get the house, and then you still get your, like, because you get, obviously, like, a budget for security.
Yes.
And then you get a transportation budget. But it's actually not that much.
No, it's not.
No. You get two residences. So you get Sussex Drive in Ontario and a country retreat in, oh God, I'm going to make you say the French word.
Oh,
Amy, you took French in school.
I know. Oh, a country retreat in Gatineau.
Okay.
Yeah, Gatineau Park.
And then you get a car for transportation. The Prime Minister is afforded an armored car.
Jesus.
A car allowance of $2,000 and shared use of two official aircrafts, a CC-150 Polaris for international flights and a Challenger 601 for domestic trips. Yeah, so the MP salary is $178,900. So that's how much your MP makes.
You know?
Yep.
I think we all knew, though, that, like...
Yeah. It's quite a bit.
Yeah. People who work in government make good money.
Oh, yes.
Like, we know this.
Yeah. And then if they die, so if the Prime Minister were to die, accorded a state funeral where their casket lies in state in the center block of Parliament Hill.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No.
I don't want to, no.
Yeah. And then...
It sounds a little, like, culty.
Well, I mean, too, like, only Bowell and the Viscount Bennett were given private funerals.
The Viscount?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So, because being the only former prime minister to die and be buried outside the country.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then also a little history lesson here. In earlier years, it was traditional for the monarch to bestow a knighthood on newly appointed Canadian prime ministers.
Yes, this I knew.
So that's why several carried the prefix Sir. Only Alexander Mackenzie refused the honor of knighthood from Queen Victoria. But following 1919, that the House of Commons mentioned that it should be against the policy of the Canadian sovereign to bestow aristocratic or chivalric titles to Canadians. So we don't do that anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that's a bit what, and then obviously we could get into the job of the prime minister is to do blah, 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 but that's boring.
They're just supposed to sit there and run the country, and then unfortunately just people complain at them the entire time.
Exactly.
And they just have to be in the House of Commons, which, fun fact about the Canadian House of Commons, so it's not like the White House, it's very different. It's like this massive hallway, and the parties sit on opposite sides. And then there's like a row in the middle because there's this like person who sits on a massive throne looking thing. And that's technically who every MP is talking to. They're not talking directly to the other person. They're talking to like the Speaker of the House. So where that speaker is sitting, that row was built to be 2 sword lengths apart. Because back in the old days, when you could have swords in Parliament, they didn't want people pulling them out and being able to...
Fair enough. Others. Yeah. And if you ever want to see the best Canadian Parliament exchange, there's this video on YouTube, and this MP from Alberta is going off, and she says...
Oh, doesn't she say, like, why is Alberta always treated like a fart on a stick or something like that?
And then an MP from BC, who was the leader of the Green Party for years, Elizabeth May, goes, I'd like the record to show that she said F-A-R-T, and that does not comply
with the guidelines. Like,
it's the weirdest, most pissing contest exchange.
If y'all ever want to know what Canadian politics is like, it is that boring.
Yeah, we have to link the video. We'll post it because it is so funny. I remember showing it to my Irish coworkers, and they're like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "No,
this is what happens in Parliament."
Yeah, and like smear ads are like a thing when it comes to elections.
Yep.
But our smear ads are so stupid. Like, the Conservative Party posted one where they photoshopped Justin Trudeau's face on Veruca from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh my God.
And when she's singing, what is her song? Like, I want a golden goose, Daddy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And everyone was like, huh? Why? You did this for what? For why?
Oh, well, it got people talking, I guess.
It did, but like, how did you think that was gonna make you look good?
I don't know. Like we said, our elections run for very, very short periods of time. Like, I think the first one that both of you and I got to vote in was like the longest election, like, in the past couple years, and I think it was like 3 months long, and that was it, and we were all dying.
Oh, was that the one to get Harper out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
That one, yeah.
That was the longest election in a long time, and people wanted to die.
And people would, like, put out these ads against Justin Trudeau. He's so young. He's got nice hair, though.
Yeah, it made... Again, we're not going to get, like, overly political here. You can have your own opinions on every candidate.
But it was just the smear ads that they would do. I'm just like, this is so weird. This is so...
It's so, like, high school.
But it's all... You know why it's so Canadian? Because we're also fucking passive aggressive.
Yeah.
We are so passive aggressive, and that's what all the ads are.
Yeah.
Like, if I was going to make a smear campaign, if I was okay. So Amy and I are running for the president of the podcast.
Yes.
This is my passive aggressive campaign.
Oh God.
Yeah, Amy is an option, but like, she's a little too tall. How is she supposed to open doors when she hits her head on the top of hers?
Oh, okay, so
For the people, by the people. Vote for Kelsey. All right, your turn.
Oh, okay, so we're going in height. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Kelsey tells you that she'll reach for the stars for you. She can't even reach that top shelf. How do you expect her to get her goals and her bills passed? Thank you. That's all I got.
This has been paid for by...
Yeah, this has been paid for by zero podcast money. Thank you.
But it's fine. I mean, we actually could run for prime minister because you only have to be 18.
I thought you had to be older.
No, you only have to be 18 in Canada.
Why don't we have no youngins? Where
Exactly.
are the young people?
Why are we letting the retirement homes run the country?
Yeah. But I guess it's like if you have to be an MP, most MPs are a lot older.
Yeah. But you actually don't have to be an MP, remember?
Yeah,
it's
now that we know
very
this.
hard. Yeah. So you have to be 18. You can't be incarcerated. Like, you can't...
That's a given.
Well, yeah, but you can't be currently in jail. Like, you can have a criminal record and become prime minister.
Yes.
But you cannot be currently in jail.
Well...
You cannot be running for prime minister while you're in prison.
From your cell.
Yeah. And then there is, like, a list of other things that you can't have done, but I was really boring going through it. So... So I didn't.
You can't be a cool person.
Exactly. But, so I was decided, I want Amy to take this quiz. Because I was looking online. I was like, okay, like looking for like a fun quiz, keep it lighthearted. Like, who should be prime minister? Why should you be prime minister? Would you make a good prime minister? And then I found one that was like, which do your values link up with? And I'm like,
Oh, that's like the political one.
Yeah, and I was like, this is not fun. So I found a quiz on good old dying BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed always coming through with the quizzes.
So it's from March 3rd, 2016. Which Canadian prime minister should you hook up with?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. So Amy's going to do this quiz because...
I don't want to hook up with any of them. That's gross.
Exactly.
Oh, gross old men.
Well, I found the quiz, so you have to do it. Okay, Amy. Which best describes your political leanings?
Oh, fuck.
Liberal, socialist, fiscal conservative, social conservatist, sovereignist, whichever one legalizes weed.
You can tell that this is an old quiz.
Yeah. Because weed is now legal in Canada.
You know what? For the shits and giggles, we'll say socialist.
Socialist? All right. Not weed? No, wait, weed's already legal.
Weed's already legal.
Yeah. Amy, what are you looking for romantically?
Oh.
Your first relationship? A rebound? A long-term relationship? Something dependable? Someone who respects me. I don't know why that's like, well, okay, so you can't be in a relationship, but they just need to respect you, huh? Or just pure sex. Which one are you looking for?
Ooh, the bar is pretty low on the floor for all these white male prime ministers. Although we have had one woman.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Yes, we have.
They've all been white.
All been white.
Yeah.
Let's go a long-term relationship.
Okay. Pick a first date. Drinks. A concert. Clubbing. Axe throwing. A sports event. Or theater.
Ooh. Axe throwing sounds a little dangerous for a first date.
You gotta flex on them.
Flex on them.
Show them you can kill them if they try to do anything to you.
If this night doesn't end well,
Exactly.
axe throwing then. Sure.
Okay. Pick a governor general. I do not know who any of these people are.
Oh, okay. Do you know what a governor general is?
Yes, I know who the governor general. Actually,
Should we explain that for the class real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, you're pushing it onto me.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the person who like talks to the queen, right? It's like the head of state for the queen. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Queen's representative in Canada.
Yes.
And they basically sign. So once bills are passed, they have to sign them.
Yes.
So we have Albert Gray, Adrian Clarkson, Jules Leger, Michel Jean,
Yep.
Veer Ponsby, Ponsnow.
Don't hurt yourself. Just move on.
Or David Johnson.
To go from there, Ponsby to David Johnson.
Yeah.
The only one I know two of the ones on this list.
I know both the women.
Oh, okay. I only know one of the women, so I'm gonna go with Michelle Jean.
Okay. Pick a color: blue, purple, green, red, brown, or gray.
Oh, no pink. So I'll go with purple.
Purple. Pick a Queen Elizabeth II. So this one is all by pictures. So Queen Elizabeth, black and white, youngest, middle-aged. And
You don't have to explain.
No, I think we should explain. We have pearl necklace with a purple pantsuit, pearl necklace with a blue pantsuit and a silver brooch. We have pearl necklace with glasses and a
Festive queen.
there's a Christmas tree in the background and a peach pantsuit. And then we have the Queen looking very confused in a pink dress with a silver brooch. Oh, she's still got the pearl necklace.
Let's go with the last one, the confused one, because I would not know anything about politics.
Pick a Netflix Canada show to watch before you chill. 1912. That's Police, so you're not choosing that one. Breaking Bad. The 100.
Ooh, I did like that show.
Chelsea Does. The Heavy Water War.
Never heard of that one.
And The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Ooh. The two shows I have watched on here, I've never actually finished. So the 100.
100. Actually, quick side note, tidbit here. I was almost on the 100.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, when I was doing some extra work right before I went to college, and they were casting the 100, and they needed 100, they're teenagers, right?
Yeah.
They needed 100 teenagers for the show that had to be in good shape. And when I was younger, I was in better shape than I am now.
Yes.
And so, because you were supposed to be an extra, but then there was a possibility, because they had to have 100 stable people.
Yeah.
And then some of the extras even became characters.
Yes, they did.
So I was like, yes, I want to do this. But when I was going to acting school, and in acting school, you were not allowed to do any paid acting work while you were going. Oh. So I had to turn, because I already had, I didn't really have an audition. They sent in my photos, and then they liked me, and then they wanted me to come in.
Oh, so it wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, it wasn't guaranteed, but I had, basically they wanted you to come in to look at you and, put you through fittings, and if they liked how you looked with the rest of the group, they were going to keep you.
Gotcha.
So I didn't get to go to that, and then I only went to that acting school for 1 year.
Oh, man.
But anyways, probably would never have met you.
There you go. See, look at that.
Life happens for a reason. Yep. You could have watched me on TV. All right. Okay, but which one did you choose? The 100?
Yes.
Okay. Now, pick a quote. Just watch me. Our first duty is to win at any cost.
I don't like that.
Above all, let us be Canadians.
Also don't like that.
Faith is better than doubt, and love is better than hate. The promises of yesterday are the taxes of today.
Jesus!
And the good old, because it's 2015.
Oh, the classic Justin Trudeau line, because it's 2015. God, that was a long time ago. Yeah. I remember that. Holy moly. I can't get over the promises of yesterday, the taxes of today. That's disgusting. Yeah. I don't like that. I'm going to go with just watch me.
Just watch me?
That sounds vaguely threatening.
All right, Amy. Who do you think you should hook up with?
None of them, because they're all men. Except one.
Except one. Well, you didn't get the one.
I didn't, so...
You should hook up with Justin Trudeau.
Gross.
You spent far too long in your previous relationship But with Trudeau, you seem to have found exactly what you've been missing. Plus, his circle of friends just seems so inclusive and welcoming. And have you seen him box? Yowza.
Oh, I got the daddy himself, Justin Trudeau.
I mean, like, he's probably on the less racist side.
Minus the one Halloween costume. We don't gotta talk
about that. Yeah. Oh, no, but yeah, that's who Amy is hooking up with, you know?
I mean, hey.
He's Canada's curtain bow.
He is. Justin, you lose the election. Sorry, man, I'm taken.
We're not married looking for something on the side.
No, absolutely not.
It's okay. Yeah. No. I did this test and I did this quiz and I got Robert Borden. You need someone who respects you as a person, and Borden knows that you're a strong, forward-thinking person who deserves support. Plus, his face is on the $100 bill, which is totally baller.
That's who that is.
Yeah, Robert Borden.
Well, you know, he has money. He's on the $100 bill.
Exactly. You know, I would hook up with Robert if I had a bunch of extra Roberts in my wallet, you know? So you have the hookup? Like, if you hook up with Robert Borden, it's $100 each?
I guess so.
Huh. I don't want to even look up his policies or parties or anything.
No, just leave it.
I'm just going to leave it. But yeah, all right. Amy and I have our weekend plan solved.
I'm almost positive Mr. Borden is very dead.
I could go visit him.
Gonna fly to Ottawa real quick, go see where this man is buried.
Yeah, or maybe I'll just go visit him in hell. I'm sure that's where all politicians are.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh God, we're getting off track here. But yes, that is our view on the current upcoming Canadian election and the election that we feel we can talk about. But we're not going to tell you who you should vote for.
No.
Just do your research.
Exactly.
And be aware that the choices you make in an election affect everybody, and your personal values and thoughts may be different of others. Mm-hmm. But we are still all Canadians.
Yep.
And
gotta vote for the common good.
Common good, yes. Vote for the common good, and I don't know, bullshit, love thy neighbor. Just
don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
And pick someone who's going to represent you in the best way possible. Pick someone who's going to represent our country in the best way possible. We don't want to be a laughing stock like other countries when they've chosen a leader.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you ever know anybody when you went to school who wanted to be like prime minister?
I did.
Really?
So,
okay.
One of my ex-boyfriends.
Okay, that's not where I thought this was going to go, but continue.
Okay, so I was dating this guy when I was in my last year of high school. And we also worked together. I've talked about him on the podcast before. He was the one that after we broke up, I thought we broke up pretty amicably.
Oh, the one who gouged your eyes out.
Yeah, gouged my eyes out, told everyone I was a crazy bitch, and just made up wild accusations about me.
Oh, this man sounds like a politician.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah. And he wanted to that was his goal, to become prime minister. So he was going to take, social sciences in college and stuff, and that's what his goal was. And because he was like, oh, I'm going to be the best prime minister and blah, 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 blah. And then last I heard of him, he's the mall cop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
yeah. So, no, he's the only person I knew that actually wanted, because he even talked about running for mayor. And then I know in Victoria, one time I was driving with my mom, and there was a guy, vote for this kid for mayor, and he literally was, 18.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, Mom, you should vote for him. And she's like, why? And I was like, I don't know. He looks like a nice kid.
Fresh young face.
Fresh young face, yeah. My mom knows, the mayor of Victoria.
Oh, so she's got an in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, or the old mayor. I don't know who the mayor was, but she was kind of friends with the mayor. And then my grandmother told me about, so in Nanaimo, they used to have this mayor who was obsessed with pirates.
Fun.
And he dressed up as a pirate.
Fun.
And, like, everybody knew the mayor. Because that was, like, he loved the town of Nanaimo. And he loved his job. And, like, there's literally an island that has been, all the street names have been renamed to pirate names. Like, it's all pirate themed. And this man just loved pirates. And he was, like, the beloved...
This man sounds like real-life Ben Wyatt.
Yeah, this man was just... But he was actually beloved, though, of the mayor of his town. Yeah. My grandmother, when I was over there talking to her, was just telling me all about this mayor of Nanaimo who loved pirates.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
He just went around dressed as a pirate. And, like, there's been, like, fun places where it's, like, there's, like, a dog that's a mayor of a town in the U.S. I think there's a cat that's also a mayor.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know what? That is the policies that I would vote for. Those are the politicians that I believe in. Yeah.
Those are the people I can stand behind.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but speaking of Ben Wyatt, have you watched that episode, like, in a while?
Not in a while.
That episode is so mean.
Oh, where he, like, goes back to the town and, like, they made that, like, fake award for him.
Yeah.
It's so mean.
Well, because every mayor gets the key to the town except for him, and then they open it and they're like, oh, it's melted because it was made of ice. And Leslie's like, screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I would ever run for... Because I thought about... Because I took one of those, like, career aptitude tests a while ago. Not the one we did, like, a year ago, but a while ago. And one of it was that I should be a politician. Now, the thing is why I couldn't be a politician is, one, I can't kiss ass. I'm so bad at it. I cannot kiss ass at all. Two, I can't... Like, if I make a promise, I keep my promise.
Yeah.
And politics is all about making promises and that you don't keep. Yeah. And I'm like, I promised to do something, like, I hold my promises. Like, I couldn't tell people straight to your face, I'm going to do this, and then just not. I also can't, I'm not the greatest arguer when it comes to keeping composed.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't sit there and just let someone spew, like, lies and stuff and not get upset. And it's like, it's kind of one thing, like, I work on trying to have, like, debates without getting very emotional. Yeah. Because I'm so passionate.
Yes.
And that's, like, a big part of being a politician.
Yes.
And I also, because part of campaigning is you need people to donate money.
Yes. Bad at asking for money.
Oh, I'm so bad at asking for money. Like, when people offer me money, I'm like, no. Like, when my parents are like, oh, do you need money? No, I'm fine. I don't need money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'll take money. Like, if someone gives me a card with money on it for, like, for Christmas or my birthday, that's fine.
That's
gift.
fine.
Yeah, but when someone's like, do you need it? Because I, like, sometimes when, like, I don't have a lot of money, I'll be like, oh, God, I'm so broke right now. And someone like, oh, do you need me to pay for you? Like, no, that's not what I'm doing here.
Yeah. Just making a point.
Just making a point here that, like, I can't do this because I'm broke. I'm not asking you to pay for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, in Canada, you need to be able to speak both English and French. And, ma chérie, your français, nope, it's worse than mine.
A croissant, a baguette, a poutine, a tabernacle.
Those are some important phrases.
Yeah.
But, you'll be ripped apart.
No, because I found, it made me so mad, because, like, I really wish, I have tried to learn French. Now, I want to be very clear here. I have taken French, like, everyone has to take French.
Yes.
In elementary school and middle school, and then in high school, you can stop.
It's an option.
Yeah, it's an option, because you can also take, at my school, you could also take Spanish or Japanese instead.
Oh, wow.
But I was just like, I don't like languages, because I'm not good at them. And then when I was looking to go for a job internship, you needed a second language. So I tried learning French again, was not getting through. And I, like that Duolingo bird was coming after me every single day.
Fuck that bird. Fuck that bird.
Truly. I was keeping up with it, and I was just, I couldn't get it. Like, me and the French language do not mix. And then I started learning Japanese, and weirdly, Japanese was easier for me to learn.
Yeah, French is tricky. French is tricky.
And then then COVID hit, and I was like, well, I'm not doing this internship anymore, so I'm just going to stop.
Yeah. Well, I took French, like, all through school, all through high school, and then I took it my, like, last semester of university, but because it was online, I it was really hard to learn it online, and I'm not gonna lie, I like cheated that entire class because it was really hard.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not in an environment where you have to practice it all the time. Like, I remember there was a couple times you were home while I had my French class, and I was like, you can't come into the bedroom for an hour because you were not listening to my terrible pronunciations because my accent is so bad.
It was really cute though, because you would watch Disney movies in French to help yourself.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that was really cute. But I was mad though, because I was browsing Indeed, because like I have a new job and I like my new job, but I'm always just like kind of keeping my eye open, as you should.
Yes.
And if you're not in your dream job, you should keep your eye open.
Exactly.
And this company that I really think their product is amazing. So they're called Sheer Tex, and they make nylons that are like almost indestructible.
Oh, yes.
They were hiring, but their company, I did not know, is based out of Montreal. So you have to speak fluent French and English. And I had every other qualification
except
for that one. Damn. And some qualifications you can bullshit, like, must be proficient in Excel. And I'm like, I can learn that in an afternoon.
Yes. You can't bullshit another language.
No, you cannot.
No.
So, but yeah, if you have time, and besides, you know what, if we go potentially into another lockdown, maybe I'll try to learn French, or maybe I'll just play The Sims for hours, who knows. Probably the second.
Probably The Sims.
Yeah. But yes, I think that is all for the election. Any final words you'd like to say, mademoiselle?
Oof, you almost had it. Almost.
So close, but so far.
So close. Does everyone go vote, do your civic duty? And Canada, good luck. Don't fuck it up. Please. Sometimes I don't look at it all the time. It just happens to show up because I get like news articles sent to my phone, and it just shows like where people are currently sitting. And I'm like, it's a little too close for comfort. A little too close. So just please go vote and do your civic duties. Thank you. So yeah, I think that's all I got this week. So I will do the outro. And so thanks guys so much for listening this week. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, on YouTube at Can You Take My Shift. And if you listen to us on YouTube, please give those videos a like and subscribe to our channel. You can follow us on Twitter at CYTMS Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Can You Take My Shift. And we're also there on Facebook. You can find Kelsey on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Kelsey Peets. And you can find me, Amy, on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at Shelly Amy. So until next time, Kelsey, can you take my shift?
No, I gotta go vote for the candidate with the hottest wife.
Who would that be?
That's a secret I'll never tell.
I was gonna say, I was like, one of them has a pretty hot wife. Well, we're keeping it neutral here. Yeah. We're not gonna say who. Y'all go do your research on that.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.